It's the middle of March. It's 30 degrees this morning. I think it got down to about 28 last night, and that could only mean one thing. It's turnout day. So turnout day is where we take the chickens that are in half the house and we turn them out to the full house. So it's twice as much area, twice as much water, twice as much feed, but also twice as much heat.
It's cold.
We're back.
Glad to be back.
Any words of wisdom this morning? I'll take that as a no.
No.
Okay. So these chickens here are in half house still. And I'll show you. The camera keeps fogging up. It's 84 degrees in here. Set point's 85. So yesterday we went through and pulled out all of our turbo feeders and turned them off here. I always like to do that the day before I turn out. That way they can eat down some of that feed. So you can see there's still a good bit of feed in those feeders. They'll continue to eat it down today because even after I turn them out, they're not gonna all just magically migrate down, but they'll slowly start moving down, and they'll be transitioning more into eating out of these feed pans rather than the trays and the turbo feeders. So right here I'm in the middle of the house, and I have my wooden board in and also the curtain. So here's the back. Got the heat on back here, so it's slowly warming up. The backs of the houses are always the hardest part to heat. So what I do is I'll come back here and I'll usually close a few vents off. All these vents on the walls have something to close them off. So I can go through and close a couple of those off, and it'll just limit the amount of cold air, fresh air that's coming into the back of the house. You get some air that comes in through these fan louvers because they're not sealed off 100%. So when it's really cold, sometimes we'll cover those fan louvers with plastic, and that cuts down on the air coming in through there. Because you want to pull in fresh air, but you want it to come in from the right spots, which are our vents on the sidewalls right now. That air comes up kind of towards the top of the ceiling and doesn't really dump air down on the birds. If you have leaks back there in the back where air is coming in, it restricts the air coming in towards the front of your house and kind of messes with your ventilation. So you want it coming in the right spots. We could have a whole long conversation about that, but so that's part of the reason why you see these houses are spray foamed. It restricts air coming in these sidewalls. Raise that curtain up just a little bit. Since it's not quite fully warmed up back here in the back, I'm just cracking this a little bit. Probably about to fog up again. Come back outside where y'all can probably see a little better. Hopefully those videos worked out. It's kind of fogging up the camera, but we'll let these houses warm on up in the back. Sun's coming up. It's supposed to be close to 60 today, so that'll help. Later on today, I'll be going through raising that curtain all the way up, taking the boards up, and basically allowing the birds to go back in the back part of the house. So, and usually it takes about a day or two before we fully get half the birds moved down there. Once we do, we'll put a fence down the middle. I can show y'all some of that as we do it, but I'm gonna go finish getting these houses ready, go through, pick them up. We're probably gonna go mess with some cows this morning. Then we'll come back here this afternoon when it's a little bit warmer and turn these birds out. So we took a break from the chickens and we came and we're checking on a fence. This is a pasture that we pulled the cows off of around the end of the year. And then Eric drilled this one in ryegrass. And we fertilized it probably about a month ago. We're getting ready to put some cows back in here. There's turkeys.
Yep.
See them?
Are they all Jake? No, there's some hens.
I think I counted 27. I don't know if I've ever seen that many turkeys together one time.
I don't think so either.
How many people you think are watching this video right now fiending a little bit? Turkey
Yeah,
season's
there's
just around the corner.
2 non-turkey hunters sitting here filming them.
Yeah.
I like to turkey hunt, I just don't take the time. But I like to turkey hunt, I've been twice, I think.
Well, back to your regularly scheduled content. We're gonna have some happy cows hopefully later today. We did a few little minor repairs on the fence, nothing major, so it should be good to go. One good thing we got going for us is when you got grass like this, the cows don't really have a reason to get out, so that's gonna really help. But just to kind of give you all an idea, so this hill up here, we didn't spread any chicken litter on it. We didn't drill that in ryegrass, obviously. And you see all the weeds that are coming up there. Then you look out here, and there's still, you got a little bit of weeds out there, but with this ryegrass coming up, it just really chokes out a lot of those weeds. So this is, ideally I probably would have liked to have gotten cows on it a little bit sooner, but it's still perfect for cows to be turned on. Here it is, March 20 some, maybe March 20th, I don't even know. And you know, last night got down to 28 degrees, so it's still cold in Alabama, but another warm day or two, this grass will keep on growing. So perfect timing to go get a group put in here. So we're pulling up over at Eric's dad's farm. This is where we've got a group of some heifers that have had a calf that are bred back. Their calves aren't quite weaning age yet. Check out that ryegrass. So our plan, there's actually one mama cow and calf that we're going to cut out of this group, and I think they're cell barn bound. Eric's trying to call them, but they got in here on this fresh grass and they don't want to budge. So there's one pair in here that they're going to be cell barn bound, and then the rest of this group we're going to move to that pasture that we just went around and checked the fence on. Come on, girls. We'll see if we can get them headed in the right direction. If they only knew that there's even better grass the next spot, they'd probably go on a little quicker. With the exception of the one cow in here that we're going to take to the cell barn, all these heifers are home raised. These were some home raised bull bred. So we didn't AI them last year. We just turned them in with the bull. All these calves, we're going to run them through squeeze chute, go ahead and ban the bulls and stick an ear tag in them. That way we know who's who and what's going where. So in this group, we've got 6 pairs and a bull that we're gonna move. We'll add a few more to that pasture. We try to run about 10 or 11 mama cows on it. Then everybody wants to go at one time.
Like it's their idea. Don't be telling they won't eat this grass.
Life is good when the lane to load cows is overrun with ryegrass.
Yeah.
If they only knew they were headed to greener pastures.
Come on, bull. Uh-oh. It wouldn't be right if we didn't have to work on a little something. Easy, easy.
Is that like when you go to Waffle House and it's scattered and splattered?
Oh, geez.
Is that what they're talking about?
That's ryegrass. Straight ryegrass. Be a rough time to AI.
You never know when you're taking a new group to a new pasture. Right now we've got cows and calves separated. Usually you can leave the gates open, but sometimes it's easier to spend about 2 minutes of your life saving you from a major headache, aka a cow getting out, not knowing where she is, not knowing where her calf is, and ending up in the road. So I'm going to close the gate just in case. The boys have blue and the girls have pink.
Slow down and start eating. They didn't have a whole lot of grass where they were at.
All right, we made it back to the farm. Got the cows turned out, the cows and the calves on fresh grass. Now it's time to finish getting all the baby chickens turned out. So it's significantly warmed up outside, which has helped obviously warm up the back of these houses. Still running a little bit of heat off and on. It's probably 65 degrees outside right now, which is much better than the 30 degrees this morning when we started. We've got some PLT spread back here, which is not something that we always do. PLT, poultry litter treatment, is supposed to help with the ammonia. We're also putting it down basically as like a litter amendment acidifier to help with some of the issues we've been having. We've had lots of high mortality, especially high mortality late in the flock, which is no good for a chicken farmer. So got that taken care of. The air smells good back here. Yeah, we're running a little bit of heat. So as you can see back here, the feed pans are still empty. So we got all the water lines, they're leveled, ready to go for week 1. We'll adjust them when we get the birds back here. but I'm gonna turn a little bit of feed on. So this is kind of where I left everything today. As the backs of these houses are heating up, we'll crack this curtain. The humidity is the main thing you have to control with these birds. Being in half house, there's a lot of chickens in the half house now. It's time for them to be spread out. So this curtain, y'all don't judge me for my curtain. It's on the to-do list, it needs some work, but I've got a winch back here. So I'll go ahead and get the curtain raised on up, turn the water lines on, and I'm gonna run the feed out, not all the way to the end. We'll talk about that in a minute, but gonna get some feed turned out, then we can get these boards picked up and we can get them turned out. Those curtains get a little bit dusty, but it's pretty much rolled up. Turn the water on. So I have ball valves. One controls the front, one controls the back, so you can turn those on and off independently. Gonna let those water lines get filled up and they'll push all the air out. Turn a little back feed on. So the boards are picked up. We're done with those for the flock. Got them stored on the wall on each side. I'll use those yellow fences. They have holes in them, so it allows air through them, which is better once the birds are moved into the back of the house. So you can hear my feed line running, and it takes a little while. So here I am now. There's the middle hopper. What I'll probably do is, what I usually do, I'll run my feed out till about maybe somewhere in this area. Because you would think that when you open this up that the birds would just automatically flock to it, but that's typically not the case. They'll slowly migrate down. A lot of times ours seem to migrate better after they have their darkness time for at night, which will be 7 o'clock tonight in a few hours. The lights will go out, they'll sleep. When the lights come back on, that's when they're more likely to head in that direction. So what I'm gonna do is go into my Rotom controller and I'll set up a couple of 5-minute feeding programs throughout the night, maybe every 3 to 4 hours. This will kick on for 5 minutes, run a little bit of feed out. So if the chickens eat some of this feed down right here, it'll refill it while also going a little bit farther down the house. About 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, they'll feed all the way to the control pan. It's gonna be kind of cold again tonight, so I don't expect a lot of birds to migrate all the way to the back of the house first thing in the morning. So the reason I'm waiting to feed them all the way down first thing in the morning is because if I need to, I can manually kick this feed back on and feed all these pans out again. So it's easier for me to monitor it throughout the day, whereas during the night, doing a couple of 5-minute feedings is typically the best option for me. We'll walk down here and check it out. It actually feels pretty good down here, but like I said, it's over 60 degrees outside. I'm running a 48 in the back, a 36, and also a 36 in the very front. So as you can see, I didn't do a great job cleaning out the corners of my litter. 13.5 day downtime. Some things just don't get done, but I put 2 feed pans in the backs on each side. So once that feed feeds all the way out in the morning, if I need to, I can shake it down to automatically kick it on. I can also swap those trays out if I need to and get those feed lines to kick back on. By this time tomorrow afternoon, I anticipate there should be enough birds moved to the back to where they're kicking it on as needed, and this feed will feed everything it can. So let's see where our feed's made it to. Yeah, we're maybe about right here. So I'll go turn this feed off, put it on auto. Like I said, those 5-minute programs will carry me through the night, and then I can pick back up first thing in the morning. Auto. So these are my feed programs. So I've got a 2 a.m. Oh, let me swap it up. I got a 1:55. The back feed line will come on. 2 o'clock, the front feed line will come on. So that's what we need. We'll do another 5:25 back, and then (6:30). So then by 10:30 in the morning, they'll feed on their own again throughout the day. So we're pretty much set. That's pretty much what you do for turning out. Water's on. Typically, that pressure is going to be up from last flock, and I'm going to leave that pressure up for right now. But I'll come back either late tonight or first thing in the morning and readjust. So these birds are turned out. Now I just need them to move it on down. I'm gonna go to the next house and go ahead and get them turned out as well. So yesterday we turned out these birds, yesterday afternoon. So let's go in, check it out, see what they look like today. So here's the front. You can see right here is where the curtain and the board was. And so we've had a good bit of birds move down. It's obviously not anywhere close to half that we need, but it's a good start. They'll keep migrating down throughout the day as we go through and pick up some of these dead today and just kind of check on everything. A lot of times that'll help move some more down. We'll also be going through and combining some of these turbo feeders. So a lot of those are getting empty. So we'll go through, pick those up, and then those will be stored on the wall over there until next flock. So another day has passed. I turned these birds out 2 days ago now. And this is kind of what we're looking like. So as you can tell, there's still more birds in the front than in the back. I didn't want to go through yesterday and put a lot of pressure on to move them down because my floor conditions were good, the air was good, it warmed up yesterday. I was able to pull some extra fresh air on these birds, so no need really to get the birds rushed down to the back. I'm gonna go through today and go ahead and push some of these birds down, get my fences up, and try to get everything balanced out. It's rare that right when you put your fence up, you have everything good and even, but we have water meters that measure the front and the back, so we can kind of check water consumption, and that kind of helps us to balance them out. So right now you can see they've had about 200 gallons in the front, 83 in the back. Definitely need to move a lot more birds down, but that's a good way to kind of help adjust that. So even after I move them down today, put my fence up, there's a good chance that tomorrow or the next day I'll wind up either moving some more to the back or some of the back to the front based on my water consumption to try to balance it out. We've tried a lot of different ways to move them down. You can see I've got all the lights on in the back as well as all the lights in the front. Some people say, well, turn your center lights off in the front, it'll be brighter in the back, the lights will attract your chickens and they'll move towards the back. It's never really seemed to work for us. So some people will fill up maybe like a Clorox jug or a milk jug with some rocks, make it into a shaker and go through there. And that works decent. The best thing that we have found is I usually take like a extra large trash bag or pretty much just a piece of plastic. You can see this is just a trash bag here. And I'll walk down about probably halfway in this house and then just kind of shake the trash bag a little bit. The ruffling of the plastic kind of gets the birds moving in the right direction. I'm gonna go through and try to move some of these birds down, throw up this fence. I'll show y'all the fence that I use. This was made by Seth Knows. They sent it to me to try out a while back. And I really like it. It's, we used the like shelving material before and it works okay, but I like this fence a lot better. So I'm gonna set the camera up, try to flush some of these birds down, and get one of these fences put up. I've got my fence up. So this one's made by Seth Knows. And I just kind of do a little V shape. It connects here and under this other feed line over here. But it works well. You can set it up. The birds just, they really can't get through this with the shelving material. Sometimes if you had real small birds, they could get through it. But, so it's nice to get these birds spread out more. Makes it a lot easier to ventilate the full house when the birds are even throughout, as well as regulating the feed, water, and all that kind of stuff. But got 3 more houses to go, and then I'm gonna go check on Eric. He is actually turning out his houses today. His chickens are not quite a week old, but we've got some good weather, so he decided to go ahead and pull the trigger, turn them out. It really helps get these birds turned out in the full house, especially if it's nice and warm. Spread them out, helps save the floor conditions, because we've still got 4 weeks to go with these birds. So this comes out on a walking floor trailer. You can see how they move, and it just slowly pushes the sawdust back out of the back. Pretty cool how it works. First load of sawdust has been delivered. We're going to get 4 more delivered over the next 4 weeks, and then we should be ready to clean these houses out. I'm sure we'll be doing a video on our total clean out, especially because it's been so long. But we were wanting to get some shavings to put in, but those are hard to come by right now. So we're getting at least 3 loads of sawdust, possibly more, and then hopefully going to get 1 or 2 loads of shavings. We'll see. But thank y'all for watching our video about turning out the birds and turning out the cows. Hope y'all enjoyed it. More videos coming y'all's way next week. We still got the internet video we got to get to. We had to order a part to get all that going, and now it's just on the to-do list, so we got to get it done. Also, talking about getting into the chicken business. It's coming, I promise. We're going to do it. But Bible verse I'm going to leave you with today, Psalm chapter 118, verse 24. Y'all go check it out. Today's a great day. Y'all have a good one. Thanks again.